Yeah, so I also have a problem with being told what to do. So I kind of thought that real estate would be something that I could make my own rules.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Animal House, the legend. I'm Annalise Everton, realtor in Virginia, specifically the Hampton Roads area of Virginia. And on Animal House, we like to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the exciting parts of real estate, professional, personal, and all of that in between. No limits. With this one, we like to keep it exciting. We love a good horror story. I am joined with the fabulous Daisy Phillips today. So excited to have her because she has been my real estate bestie for the past almost decade. Which is
like crazy. That's insane to think about. Crazy to think about.
And Daisy was brought to the Hampton Roads area by the military from the great state of New York. So Daisy, can you tell us a little bit about what brought you here to the Hampton Roads area?
For sure. So when I was growing up, I didn't really have any, I would say, plans. I had no idea what I wanted to do, but all I knew was I don't want to ask my parents to pay for college if I don't know exactly what I want to do. So my first thought was, okay, I'll join the Navy. I don't have an explanation as to why I chose the Navy. A lot of us will say, maybe we wish we chose Air Force. It could have been cool. But anyways, chose the Navy, and I spent a couple months in the Great Lakes area to become a rated gunner's mate.
Oh, wow.
And then I got orders to Virginia. This was my first and only duty station, Norfolk, Virginia. And I've been here for almost 10 years too. So I was in the military for about 3 years. I got out because of some medical issues. But yeah, I don't know. I guess my whole thing was, don't want to ask my parents to pay for college. Where am I going to go? Virginia is still on the coast of New York. So it was a good choice. It was honestly my only choice. It was either here or Japan, and I am not made to be that far away from my family.
Can't drive home from Japan.
Exactly.
Right.
So that wasn't really a choice. So yeah, it was here, and then I ended up liking it, loving it, grew a career here, and I'm still here. So
the career that you're talking about is real estate.
Sure is.
And so basically, from the mindset of not wanting to ask your parents for this and that, what made you go from the military into real estate based on that?
Yeah, so I also have a problem with being told what to do. So I kind of thought that real estate would be something that I could make my own rules. In a way it is, which
Right.
I do love. I mean, I feel like I'm in a way my own boss, and I mean my success is up to me. So I do love that part, but I mean, let's be real. Are we being told what to do?
Yeah,
we are.
Interesting that you bring that up, because that was probably, if I think about it, really one of my biggest motivations for real estate was I didn't want a boss telling me what to do.
Yeah. And
so we don't have a boss telling us what to do now. We just have clients that tell us what to do
multiple
day,
at a
every
time.
day.
All day, every day, all night, any hour, just,
And we love it.
We do.
Honestly, I mean, it's your moment. It's your experience. It's your journey. So that's why we're here 10 years later, still doing it.
We're still doing it.
Obviously.
We're still doing it. I mean, we have to love it, right?
Yeah. I mean, but that's such a good point, because I think a lot of people, that's what they think.
Yeah.
And it's not about people, they're not telling you what to do.
Right.
It's just that it's a very serious situation.
Yeah.
You're buying a property, you're investing in a lot of money. And, it's one of the biggest things you can do for yourself.
And that's what I always say. I'm like, listen, this is the biggest, like you just said, it's the biggest thing you can do is buy a home. And I would say, or several. But I would say that once I helped my first clients, which was actually somebody I went to boot camp with, the reason quickly changed because I realized how big it was. It was like, oh shit, like this is this is really real. And just like seeing their faces when they walked into the house and their kids running around, it became real.
Aww.
So
I love that.
Yeah, so I would say that's probably what makes us stay.
Yes.
Like
for sure.
it's so big. You're changing somebody's life.
I mean, I cry like a baby.
Oh my God,
pretty much every time that I go. I mean, whether it be because I'm so happy that it's over.
That's true.
No. Honestly, it depends.
It depends. It does.
But 9 times out of 10, I am overcome with emotion just of the whole process. Watching someone's kids, like just this past transaction that I closed. They have a 2.5-year-old, and this is their first time having a house with stairs. So watching their 2-year-old climb the stairs and they're like behind him, it reminded me of when we got our house with stairs and we had our little 4-year-old and he was climbing stairs and I was freaking out. Just little tiny moments like that are core memories at this point.
Core memories for sure, because we're there for some of the biggest parts and we're helping them in starting their new journey. And I mean, it's huge. It really is. So I think that's why we're still here.
Right. So you said your first client was somebody you went to boot camp with. So were you really close with them, or were you just Facebook friends from boot camp and they saw you were doing real estate, or how did that evolve?
So we were pretty close. We always called her like the mom of the group because she did have 2 kids. And I don't know, she was just amazing. We trusted her. And we stayed pretty close throughout. We became Facebook friends right away. And she saw I was in real estate and she trusted me to be my first clients. And I couldn't thank her enough because she is, I would say, like the reason why I am what I am now, because she did trust me and it gave me the confidence. It started me off and changed my mindset, and I couldn't thank her enough. And I don't know if she knows how much I appreciate her. But if you're watching, I do love you, and I think about you guys all the time for sure.
So now, kind of piggybacking off of that, so you guys knew her from Facebook, and I would say for military purposes, a lot of people stay connected via social media. Would you say that is your biggest way to keep connected with a lot of people from the military? Yes,
absolutely. I think social media has always been one of my bigger lead generating tools. For me, 95% of my business has been all sphere. So, and sphere means obviously like the people that you know, the people that
directly
your people know. I would say 95% of them are there, and a lot of them are reminded through Facebook, and find me off of Facebook. So I would say for sure that helps keep me connected too.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Social media, even for me, I was born and raised here. So it's just a busy life, you know, and it's such a great tool for keeping in touch with people and following those milestones. For people that aren't in real estate, seeing that your friend bought a house and you haven't talked to them in 2 years is just like such a great way to just
keep connected. Keep connected. I think it's nice to see everybody's, like you said, milestones. So,
Now, you live in Norfolk, which is where the biggest base is on the East Coast. And I know that you are a huge advocate for everything Norfolk. And you do research on all the fun places to eat. And that's like a big help for your military clients that are coming into Norfolk.
I would say if I could get paid to just go eat, I would do that because I love food and I love trying new places. Like if I could just do that all day, every day, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure. Food is my favorite. If you need a pizza that's close to New York, you have to try Del Vecchio's if you haven't yet, because that is good.
Okay, but what about Kogan's? Is Kogan's not anything close? I love Kogan's.
I like Kogan's, don't get me wrong. Okay, but
Del Vecchio's
Del
is like
Vecchio's is the one.
Okay.
It's the one.
Okay.
It just is. It has the vibe of just like going in, getting a slice and getting a little Pepsi.
Yeah.
And
so what street is Del Vecchio's on in Norfolk? Okay, so realtor, here's actually a really great
it's across from ODU.
Okay. A really good trait of realtors, the best realtors I would say, is we don't really know street names, we just know how to get there.
We just know where to go. Okay, we know where to go. Call me off guard with that one.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're
sorry, no. And you know what? But like when I realized that, when I realized the look on your face, like, oh, deer in headlights, I feel the same way. Like if you ask me a lot of times where something is, not like a house, but like a landmark, like a restaurant, I'm gonna tell you what it's close to.
Yeah, what it's close to, what way to turn. Like it's a right at the light. You know, I can tell you all of that. I can get there blindly, but I can't tell you what street it's on.
We drive so much.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually have a car that I've only had since November.
How many miles do you have?
Already put 7,000 miles on it. Okay, I did drive to Florida. There was that. But I mean, 5,000 miles in just a few months. I mean, seriously, we drive nonstop.
I would say that's our office, is our car. We're eating lunch in our car. We are just sitting in our car, collecting ourselves, talking to people. Like our car is our life.
Meditating. Praying.
Yes, no, for real.
Crying,
yep. Doing all the things in our cars.
Yeah. So, do you now? I'm not sure, and I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Do you have any specific stories that come to mind with maybe somebody that you didn't know personally that was a military referral that had any sort of crazy thing happen with their transaction, or anything with their VA loan maybe that was unexpected?
I would say I can't think of any, because I would say I've gotten pretty lucky with my VA clients, but I can say one of the crazy stories that I have with one of my VA clients, I could say that, and that he had to leave. He had orders and we had his house listed. He had to leave, and I'm one of those realtors that just kind of does everything.
For sure.
And I mean, I was the yard keeper. I was out there mowing that yard, weed whacking, trimming bushes.
Okay.
I had to do that. And I even got my spouse involved, my best friend involved, my little sister involved. We were all just at that house, like mowing, painting, cleaning. Listen, it was also, not to call them out, it was also flea infested.
Oh, I think I remember this one.
Yeah. It was flea infested, and it happens, you know.
What constitutes a flea infestation? I mean, I don't think I've had this just yet.
Well, I had a showing, and the agent called me and she's like, girl, there was at least 10 fleas on me when I looked down. And I mean, they're like little bugs.
And they itch.
They itch. So I was like, oh my gosh. So immediately, obviously, we got it remedied and everything. We had,
So this was a furnished home?
It was not furnished.
Oh.
He actually.
How can it be a flea what is it, carpet?
It was carpet.
Okay.
It was carpet. Not talking shit either, you know? Just let's make that clear. But shit happens.
Especially too being military and all of a sudden your life gets uprooted and you just have to go.
Shit happens.
Obviously, some things cannot be avoided, especially when your duty is to your country.
Yeah.
And they say jump, you gotta
go. You gotta go.
I'm sure it's something that he had on his list of things to do.
Definitely. Well, okay, so one of my biggest fears is like bringing fleas home to my dogs.
Okay.
And before anybody comes for me, they are on medication, but it's still something that I'm just like, oh my gosh.
You never know.
Yeah. So when we would go and like do the cleanings and stuff, even though we got it treated, I was still so nervous. So we would get home and I would like walk the block and shake off myself just in case, because I don't want to, my dogs are my children, my
Right.
babies, my cats also, like they're everything to me. So I was nervous, but it ended up working out. We sold it, and that's what matters. We had to put in a lot of work for it. But yeah, we got it done.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. We always like to put a positive
Yeah.
spin on everything. Real estate, doesn't have to be daunting.
Yeah.
Obviously a lot of pieces of it can be,
Mhm.
but that's why
We do what we do. And everything happens for a reason. So
Yeah.
every transaction you learn something from.
Mhm.
So definitely learned a lot at that one, brought it to my next few,
Right.
so it is what it is. But
Now, working with the VA loan
Yeah.
is something that you're really familiar with.
mhm.
So, what would you say is something that military people thinking about buying a house in Virginia,
Yeah.
Norfolk specifically, or just Hampton Roads in general, could do to prepare for a VA loan? Or is there something that they should be thinking about?
So I think that one of the biggest things that a lot of my VA people don't know is that you can use your VA loan multiple times. Okay. You can use it.
I like that.
Yeah, you can use it multiple times. It's not a one-time thing. There's a couple stipulations within that. Feel free to call us and ask us, but
And it depends on your
it
situation.
depends on your
specifically.
situation, yes, but you can use it more than once. It's not like a check mark that, oh, I did it and I can never do it again.
Right.
So you can do it. It's just everything's got to line up. And again, there's a lot of information off of that, but I think that's the biggest thing that my VA people don't know.
Yeah, a huge bonus for being in the military. And
Mhm.
I think that maybe part of the reason for that is because you get moved around so much
Yeah.
and you may not have time to sell your house
For
if
sure.
you are in a house that you've purchased
Mhm.
several years ago and all of a sudden you're making a move.
Yeah, it's a lot of moving parts, and it's cool that we have that available to us for sure. So
I think I can remember I had one of my biggest learning curves with a person that had a VA loan on a house. They forgot about, we didn't forget about, but when you go to sell, it's important for them to call and find out that payoff because that funding fee.
yes, the funding fee.
The funding fee.
Don't forget about it.
So I think basically what it is if you just look at your mortgage statement, it's not going to show your payoff. And that's for any loan, but specifically with the VA loan, and correct me if I'm wrong, you've got, when you have a payoff for that gets added to it at the end.
Yeah, so tacked on to the end of the loan amount is that funding fee. And that's how the VA kind of, I like to say, gets away with not having a down payment.
Yeah.
So it's, I think the first funding fee that you use on your first property with the VA loan is 2.14% on the end.
And that's just for the funding fee.
That's just for the funding fee. So that's tacked on to the end of the loan. So if your loan is 250, then an extra 2.14% is added to the end of that 250.
Okay.
So yeah, it's definitely something to keep in mind, and it changes every time you use your VA loan. Definitely something to talk to a lender about.
For sure. We are not lenders.
We're not lenders. I'm not.
Disclaimer. We are not lenders.
Disclaimer.
We are not giving advice in any way. We are just sharing our experience.
Yeah.
Which is almost a decade's worth.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's something to definitely think about too.
Now, as far as we talked about you using social media to kind of keep up with a lot of people, especially not being from here, being in the military, having friends all over the country. What about locally? What do you do here locally to kind of keep in the loop, keep relevant, mix in your hobbies with your life?
Yeah, so locally, I am actually a part of a sports league called Stonewall Sparts, and that I play kickball every weekend, and in the spring and the fall, I'm out there
every weekend. Wow, it's a
I know,
commitment.
it's a commitment. It's a commitment. And then I also do sand volleyball, and then they have so many sports. They've got billiards, pickleball, they have it all, and it is part of the LGBTQ plus. Obviously, we do it all. Whoever's welcome, but it definitely gets me involved in my community as well.
Okay.
And yeah, I would say that's one of my biggest hobbies: staying connected to the people in this area, and then just keeping in touch and close with the people that I did serve with and the people that they introduced me to. So I think I've gotten pretty lucky with the people that I've met to keep me in the loop too.
Do you consider yourself athletic? Yes. Or is this just like a fun thing?
I consider myself very competitive.
Okay.
And I feel like that helps my athletic abilities. Am I the best on the field?
How that would work.
Yeah. Am I the best on the field? No.
Right.
No. But
do you think everybody on your team is like super competitive?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I would say, we all kind of align, and we're all there to like win, but also our biggest thing is to have fun too.
Right.
Because we're not there to not have fun, obviously. So I think we all kind of align in the same idea, but am I the best one on the field? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No, but it does sound fun. And it sounds like there's a number of things that you do, not just the kickball.
Yeah.
It's a couple of different things.
Yep, like the sand volleyball. I was helping with some events recently, just getting the community together and everything. I think it's important. So, and one of our biggest sponsorships is with the LGBT Life Center. So we do a lot of volunteering with them as well, just get out in the community, do some events and stuff like that. So super. So
that sounds like just by looking at you and obviously knowing you, that's probably one of your biggest passions.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I love getting involved with my community, our community, and, just putting myself out there, meeting new people, I think is one of the biggest things that one keeps me going, keeps my business going, just keeps everything going.
Yeah. So I would love to just, since we've kind of touched on it, just bring up a situation that kind of triggered my memory when we were talking about the LGBTQ community that you are a big part of, that is your biggest passion. Can we talk about, I just think it's so important to discuss, you are in that community and you are also in the military.
Right.
Now, blending those two together, have you run into any discrimination, any sort of issues, or has it been pretty welcome, open type of situation?
So definitely I've run into it before. Thank goodness my clients have all been amazing. Some of them are also part of the community. I haven't had an issue client-wise or anything like that. I think everybody, if you're working with me, you know who I am.
Right.
So, and if you, I don't want to say it, but like if we don't align, then that's fine. And we just,
and it doesn't matter about your background.
Yeah. And that's fine. But definitely have run into some discrimination.
Yeah.
Definitely have run into some discrimination with a previous brokerage, we could say.
Right.
And
that's kind of what I was
remembering.
Thinking about. Which, I mean, is just crazy to say that, those kinds of things are happening on a somewhat corporate level.
Right.
So people need to be aware of them.
And also, like, with our job, I mean, if you think about the fair housing laws in general, like, we are not supposed to be discriminated based off of anything. So it was shocking. It was a shock to the system. I was really young, didn't really have a voice yet because I was also still really new. So I just wasn't expecting it. Came from definitely somebody that I thought was...
That you trusted.
That I trusted, was a mentor. And, learned a lot there though, at the same time. Of course. Learned a lot and realized it wasn't for me and moved to the next place, and everything got better, that's, it is what it is. And something had to happen for me to move on and bring myself to the next level.
Yeah. So. And that's a great way to look at it. It still blows my mind that there are brokerages out there that they really have a strong belief on that. And fair housing is really a law that is geared towards the consumer. I don't really know much about what there is in place to protect the actual agents.
I don't know if they're really to be honest. I'm not sure. I feel like that's probably something that I should be looking into for sure.
Yeah.
I haven't run into the issue.
Well, if you don't know about it too, it might not even be a thing.
Yeah, which is crazy. But
especially with how involved you are with that.
Yeah.
So
I've been pretty lucky since that moment for everybody to just like, everybody that I've been in contact with, who I'm with now, have been super supportive, super understanding. Like, it's not even a question.
Right.
So, yeah.
And you need that to have a healthy lifestyle in your personal life and in your working life.
Yeah. Yeah. It all coincides. I think that's something that people forget, but it all really does. It's like a little melting pot. Everything just kind of comes together. So, yeah.
Awesome. We're going to ask just a couple more questions for Daisy, and then we are going to wrap up.
Okay.
So, circling back around to your involvement with the community, especially in Norfolk.
Yeah.
We talked about Del Vecchio's.
Yes.
We talked about the fact that you're a foodie and that if you could be paid to eat, you would.
Yeah.
Have you been able to share these experiences with your clients as far as, hey, this is the best place to go eat, and this is...
For sure, yeah. Sometimes I'll take them out to those places. Okay. We'll go out together. I also have this like booklet basically made that I send to them at the end, and it gives like all of my favorite places, and not just in Norfolk. I mean, Virginia Beach has beautiful places too.
Of course, obviously.
Suffolk, Chesapeake, Portsmouth, everywhere has their own little thing. So I think maybe it's because I'm so passionate about it, but I do feel like food kind of brings everybody together, and it's something you can always talk about. So it's in my booklet, but I also do like monthly newsletters, and I always do like a spotlight of my favorite place that I've gone to try, or my favorite place that I've had before, or something like that. So I keep my people involved with food.
That's amazing. So you do a monthly newsletter, and you have this booklet. Mm-hmm. And these are all things you've created digitally?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, digitally. So I'll send it to them through like an email or something like that.
Okay.
So,
and I'm sure people really appreciate that.
Oh yeah, they love it. Cool. They love it. I think it keeps me in front of them as well, especially with the newsletter. I mean, I send it to people that I've sold houses to 10 years ago, even the people that have left. I want them to stay involved in the area too. I mean, and also with military, you never know if you're going to come back. So,
and you usually do. A lot of people just come back here after they retire because they love it so much.
Yeah, for sure.
We have
everything.
We have everything. We've got Virginia Beach. We've got 5 or 6 different main beaches in Virginia Beach. And we've got Norfolk, which is a little more vibrant, a little more late night, a little more city.
Yep.
A little more progressive, I would say too. And then you've got Chesapeake, which is country. Yeah. Suffolk, which is even more country.
Which we love. I mean, you can, in 20 minutes or 30 minutes in each direction, you can hit the beach, you can hit the city, you can hit the country.
Yeah, I think military people that come here from, especially like the Midwest, their mind is blown.
And you know what's crazy? When I was choosing orders between Japan or Norfolk, everybody was so against Norfolk, and even my instructors were like, "Ooh, nobody ever wants to go to Norfolk," and stuff like that. And I don't see why. I've stayed here. Obviously, I like it. I don't see why, because it really does have everything. Obviously, maybe San Diego would be super fun. It's on the West Coast. Weather's great over there. Weather's great here too, by the way. But yeah, Norfolk, it had a bad rep, but it's been great.
Yeah, and everywhere has a little bit of everything.
Yeah, everywhere has everything, for sure. There's good and bad in everywhere.
Yeah. So as far as your first decade in real estate, it sounds like it's been an awesome ride.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you've had me there with you, so it's been great.
Honestly, no, but for real, that has been like one of the best things about it, because you have been the biggest support for me.
You too, for me.
Oh, I couldn't thank and honestly, that's something. The first place that we met each other. Yeah. So we were there for a reason, and I say you're my reason.
Yeah.
So
you're a big reason for me. So what would you say is the next decade going to look like for you?
Oof.
Still working on that one?
We'll have to see about that. Stay tuned.
Now, how can people get in touch with you if they are looking for somebody like you to help them purchase a home or sell their house in this area?
Biggest thing is obviously my phone. So do you want?
I'll plug that at the end for you.
Biggest thing is my cell.
Drop your social media handle as well.
For sure. Yep.
And so I really, really am so happy that you came. And full disclosure, She is my first person on this podcast.
I am so honored and I'm so thankful that you asked me to be a part of this with you.
I just think that you have so much valuable information to share with people, and there's a lot of people looking for a realtor like you, and I want them to find you through this outlet as well as the ones you've already created for yourself.
Thank you so much.
But thank you so much for joining me today on Animal House. Thank you everybody for listening. We appreciate you, and we'll get back to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.